So you had mentioned the valving. So the valving has been introduced since 8 years ago when we had this, and it comes in different thicknesses. So if guys can see here a little bit, here's a little green colored valve. This is our 3,000ths valve, but the whole package comes with 3,000ths, 5,000ths, 4,000ths, and 7,000ths all together. So actually the 4,000ths valve is what we call it as a gap valve. And then those other ones, so you're able to change in 2,000ths increments of where you're going to be. And just dealing with that, what would you do now? Because that's realistically the main magic behind this whole system. You have the 6 bypass holes that are in the center of the piston, and then you have your outer 6 or 8 holes. But the 6 center holes, when that little valve washer, when it's returning down, the valve flexes up, which makes it return faster. So rebound is faster. So being that, depending on your valve characteristics for your sizing, what would you do? Because I know from my experience in 1/5 scale and in 1/10 scale, depending on track conditions, depending on oil viscosity, and depending on temperature of the outside conditions, that changes how your shock, and that goes with how normal shocks go. But that changes what oil you're going to run, what valving you're going to run for what conditions. So kind of where would you go or lead guys into just a kind of a cheat sheet of what they would do depending on those 3 main points?
So typically with the MIP Bypass1 Pistons, I like to start with the blue valve in the rear and the clear or matte colored valve in the front. So what that's doing for me is it's actually giving me a faster rebound in the rear of the vehicle than it does the front. And depending on the track conditions, like you mentioned, if the grip level, the size of the bumps, or even just the temperature changes, typically in the past, all we could really change for the most part was you would just adjust your oil or the valving, the holes in the piston. Well, now we can use the color valving to actually control the rebound, speed up or slow down. So as the track gets rougher or if the grip levels go down, you can speed up the rebound, helps keep the tires on the ground, and keeps the vehicle driving just more precise and has more grip overall.
Gotcha. So what would you do with like temperature? When temperature goes down or comes up depending on the valving and your viscosity of oil?
So with temperature, you may still adjust your oil if it's a drastic change in temperature, but what I found myself doing more is if I still like or feel like I need the compression to where the vehicle lands good, it gets a little bit colder, I don't want to change that, I'll just go to a thinner valve, and usually I'll adjust then the valving equally front to rear.
Okay.
So if I go down in valve in front, I'll also go down in valve in the rear, but it's something that you just kind of have to play with and find what you like for your vehicle. But for me, again, if the track gets really bumpy or really loose, but I feel the front of the car is supported and I like the steering feel and the precision of it, I may sometimes change to just a thinner valve in the back. But if I'm changing just because of temperature, or if it's like the grip level is reduced, I'll usually make an equal change front to rear so that the balance of the vehicle stays the same.
Nice. So what's really cool about this Bypass1 system as well is that you can stack the valves.
Correct.
So have you found that you have to stack them? Because realistically, when we have between 3,000ths to 10,000ths valving of what you guys are going to be able to get in the future, is that it's an unlimited amount of setup that you can do.
Yeah, you're really able to fine tune and kind of split the difference between the valves by stacking the valves. So if you use, say, 2 of the green valves, you can kind of split that difference and really fine tune to your liking.